Hello and welcome back to OpenTTD, and I've let the game run a little bit and I've investigated a few things. So there are still happening various slowdowns. I noticed, for example, there's one possibility for even a deadlock here when there's two trains coming from this direction and they both use both of these platforms, and then a train comes that wants to exit. Then it can be blocked because it cannot enter this platform, so it will always be stuck here. And at the same time, these trains, they cannot proceed forward because the forward is blocked. So I built like this small roundabout here just to let them through. Likewise, there are still slowdowns and blockages in basically, well, everywhere. But primarily, Champerieux is very easy to block down. And the other one that you probably know if you've followed the series is here in Langkreuz. This is a really, really ugly corner of the network. And of course, everything around Wilmark, even the goods delivery is really blocked down and run up. But I left it running for a little bit, as you see, and it's more or less fine. It's okay, but I think we have a huge backlog with regard to the profitability. We have a huge backlog with profitability that it's just not quite catching up. We lost a huge amount of money basically by having huge running costs. I also noticed that when I looked at this a little bit more in detail, it's very interesting that we have huge operating costs for road vehicles, but we not make even the profit from that. So the road vehicles are completely subsidized. And even our train revenue here is pretty bad. I mean, that's because of also blockage. So if you looked at the previous year, at least the trains are kind of subsidizing the road vehicles more or less. The most profitable that we're running is probably the ships. So everything is kind of in a mess. Unfortunately, I have to say I looked at this a little bit, thought about it, considered what could be done. And unfortunately, I think I'm reaching the end of this game. Even though it's a very fun game, I just think that spending time optimizing this network to the fullest extent is not going to be that interesting for now. Maybe it's something I would return back to in the future, but for now, I think I would like to call an end to the series. Unfortunately, I think we had a lot of fun. If you followed me for a while in this series, then surely you know that it's been a cool, very cool series, and I do want to continue playing OpenTTD. I'm not sick of it yet, by far not. I am really enthusiastic about playing more, and I already prepared a little scenario which I will present to you in the next episode. And I want to just use this episode to just reminisce a bit and just take a look at our network and see what's going on, see what's happening. Just want to take a peek at things. So we expanded greatly in this little Alpine. I'd call it Alpine, but realistically there are mountains, but it's not like that crazy mountains, I guess. I'm not sure if you call those really Alpine mountains. And the heart of the whole operation is, of course, here Wilmark, which is a really big city. It's the biggest city. I think at some point we disabled growth, but I think off cam at some point I'd enabled it again, just because I wanted to see like that it gets bigger. It's with 30,000 people. It's by far the biggest hub here. I think it's also the logistical center of the map. Where everything kind of runs through, because the whole train lines, they're operating like, well, they don't really go north, I guess. They go like kind of south here, or whatever that direction. Actually, I'm not sure. Like, for some reason, I'm thinking this is north-south axis in my head, but I'm not sure if that's actually the case. It looks cool. I love the bridges. I love things. Kleiner Wilmark never really grew much compared to its brother, because it was completely boxed in. But I see that now there's a little bit of expansion here in the suburbs, and also down here in the suburbs. So maybe it's catching up slowly. And also it's crazy that, this is connected by a ship at least, right? Yeah. Otherwise I would have thought like, wow, we have like a little village here right next to the big city that's not even connected. Blaustedt we never did much with, just connected it really early on. And it's just like a suburb basically of the capital. This city here, for some reason, received a lot of traffic from somewhere, I forgot which town. Champerieux or something brings things here. Also a city we haven't spent much time on. It's also something we connected super early on. mainly because it has here the Schlosser Kooperative, which was our first tram line. The first tram line, I think, was bringing steel here to Saltvorn from Wilmarkt, and of course bringing iron ore. I don't remember from where 100%, but probably from Markreed area somewhere. Where's the next iron ore mine that we brought it from? Or did we bring it from here? I think we brought it from Mitterbirgen. Yeah. I didn't remember. Like, yeah. I did the Mitterbirgen to Saltvorn and then to Wilmarkt line. So that was our first train line that we built, I think, in the first episode. I really had to experiment quite a bit, actually, because I set the difficulty a bit high on this, that I could build a railroad, a first railroad, just so that it's like halfway profitable. And yeah, that was the thing that brought us the success. We can also quickly take a look at our statistics, maybe how far we've come. So railway pieces, 31,000 railway pieces, 4,000 signals. Yeah, signals probably also pretty expensive if we had like maintenance turned on, which we turned off in the middle after, yeah, that almost bankrupted us. Road pieces, quite a lot as well. Yeah, mostly gravel road. We built a lot of gravel. I mean, that makes sense. I mean, we didn't want to do too much here. Trams, electrified trams, nice. We still have 27 tram pieces somewhere probably they're in the middle of some city and like the trams are avoiding that area, or they're just, you know, turning off the electricity quickly and just sliding over it. Yeah, could be. Yeah, I know. Although those are the trams, right? I know. Okay, tram track. Okay, I missed that. Okay, tram track. We have no tram track that's not electrified, but we do have some trams that are not electrified. Most of our trams are, though. Okay, a little bit of canals we built. 116. That seems like a lot. It seems almost like a lot. Like, I don't know when we built so many canals. Probably because I was fixing some things. Not really. 1,500 station pieces. That's crazy lot. That's crazy a lot. And then if we take a look at our last CEO, Jürgen Kaltwasser. We were inaugurated 1840, so we played 75 years, thereabout. 322 trains, 512 road vehicles, 28 ships, not a lot. The company value is not insane. It's pretty reasonable. It's not too bad, but also not too crazy. So let's take a look at our headquarter here. Oh yeah, here it is. I see it. Very nice, very nice. It's the most modern building here, but I think it actually fits the neighborhood really nice. I like it. We built it next to our first major station here. Yeah, I like it. Very cool. Can we look at something else here? I guess not. So then let's reminisce a little bit more. It's like a lot of the train connections go here to Wilmarkt up the moor. So all the cargo, like a lot of the cargo here is centered around iron ore, because we have the first Fierce mod. I don't even remember which version. I think we're playing on version 3 or 4. 4, yeah. We're playing on version 4 of the Fierce mod. So a lot of things center around the steel mill, where there's only one of which in the map. So we have to bring coal, iron ore, and scrapyard items, whatever, scrap metal there, and we melt it down into steel, which we then transport off to produce goods. So that's why a lot of traffic goes towards Wilmarkt, and why it's very centralized, this network, that everybody's bringing stuff here. Yeah, and then we also expanded hugely into passenger transportation. So I like it's like kind of like my little model railway here to look at things. We have a major connection down here to Mikasavici, where in Mikasavici we're also getting iron ore. That's the main employer here of this little town. And there's also nearby a few more iron ore mines here that are also connected to Mikasavici. And I think, I'm not sure if they actually delivered directly to it first or like anywhere else. But yeah, so Mikasavici, we had like some feud here with the mayor who was blocking in his personal house, like the station building. But that was all resolved like many years ago. So nowadays it's well integrated in our network, and we have a great relationship with the town council here in Halbinsel Eisensand. Yeah. Then down here we have like this little connection here. Peterswalda, also a very underappreciated town. Looks quite nice and idyllic. A little bit of a weird crossing here, I guess. Yeah, we didn't want to build level crossings back then. For a town of this size, very lowly integrated with just a single tracked railway. Going here to Pulnau. Pulnau now finally been also integrated into our connection up here to Weißenkirch, another medium-sized town. And then, yeah, it kind of fizzles out here towards the end, towards smaller towns that are not so important. But we also build a major connection over here that sneaks through these major hills here all the way over to the city of Tafel. And Tafel is definitely, I would say, it's probably the second biggest city here, right? And it's also a region where we've spent quite a lot of time working on back when we were building it up, yeah. St. Pölten, would not have remembered St. Pölten. Wow, that's grown also tremendously. It must have grown so much. That doesn't even seem like in my memory like it's a big city, but look at these transports here. That's crazy. That is crazy. But Tafel, yeah, I remember Tafel a lot because we built a lot of stuff here. Primarily the industry here is dairy. So they have a dairy factory here. So we're bringing in milk from the surrounding farms here. Mostly by trucks, I think. Yeah. So we're bringing in all the milk to the area here. And then we're putting the milk down here to the docks, I think, as food. And then we're grabbing here engineering and farm supplies, well, mostly farm supplies it seems, to bring to the farms to have a nice cycle. So that's cool. So let's just continue on. As we go up here, we build up the connection to Champion, which I'm always pronouncing a little bit incorrectly probably. And here we're very happy that this large bridge that we built this little suburb area here where we wanted people to settle, but for the longest time they didn't want to cross over here. They always settled like around here, and they didn't really expand into across the river, but now they do, and it looks really nice. I like it. Yeah, this town I really wanted to grow a lot more actually, because this seemed like kind of the town that should be much bigger. And their main industry here is to bring local fruits to this brewery, and they're making some cider from it, I guess. Yeah. Then when we connect it up further, we're going up here to the next bigger junction is Mittermarkt, also a terminus station here which is completely overrun with people who want to go to Champion. But yeah, it's also a nice medium-sized town connected with some satellite towns up here. And their biggest industry here is the horse market, where they're making meat, I guess, yeah, food from livestock. And then it connects up here along this beautiful scenic river. It connects up to the very famous city of Feldau, which is extremely popular, as you can see here. And the reason for that is, of course, because of the football stadium, because there's a lot of football games being played here. I guess this town really punches above its weight in regards to size, probably like kind of a regional team that's very successful, despite the town's relatively modest size of 1,000 people. And there's also a scrapyard here, which is seemingly, yeah, is not that busy. And then Langkreuz here is a nightmare of a town. It's absolutely busy, despite its small size, because everybody here wants to go usually to Feldau. But now they have also discovered that Großkamenz is pretty nice, so maybe they want to go here. And then on the Langkreuz axis, we can expand here to St. Georgen and Großvöstler, and then Bad Krain, Kaiserstadt, the city of the emperor. So probably the emperor created it. This little town here is really expanding in a very ugly way. I always hated when they just build villages along the road instead of making like more crossroads. But I guess it's very hilly here, so it's not possible. And also maybe in the inner city, it's very hilly, to be honest, to build more houses here. So what can you do, right? Then there's also like a nice iron ore mine here that we haven't even connected up. Crazy. That should have been pretty easy to connect up. And yeah, a lot of these towns here along the northern edge here of the Fluss Egget are not connected up. But we have some branch line here that goes up to Jessewang, the little train. I think nowadays if we build it again we would have put these little rail buses on it. I really like those. But here we'd put like a proper steam train on it. And yeah, then from St. Georgen it also goes back to St. Pölten, which we just discovered is the third biggest city in the whole region, despite the fact that it's like kind of like hidden behind like Langkreuz and all this nonsense. This is like a really big city that is pretty much here, far away, tucked away, and it's even expanded here in the northern territory. Like it's a new city, an old town city. It's crazy big. Like this has a huge potential to grow even much bigger. We haven't even connected it up to any of the like little satellite villages here, like Markt St. Georgen. Probably they would really benefit from being connected to St. Pölten. Yeah, for sure. And then down here, this line, it connects up over here along that river. Like the train really follows that river up to Ollerskirchen. Ollerskirchen is connected to Willmarkt up to from the connection over Ried am Geil, Schwarzbrunn, and then here to Ollerskirchen is also a medium-sized town, or at least a somewhat larger town even. And here's a metal workshop, the locomotive factory, where our trains are constructed. And yeah, here we are constructing all of our trains, and a lot of passengers are coming in and out of the city. And then from here you can connect up the river Geil. You can connect up to here, Spital am Geil, up to these cities here, which are also like only medium well connected. I mean, these cities are well connected actually. They have like a little internal tram network, which I really like that they're being serviced here. So we always I always hoped that they would grow quite a lot, but they're not growing like too bad. 200 days growth is not great, but like for those little villages it will take a while. But yeah, it seems like this whole like dumping people off up here and then getting picked up by a tram, kind of a car-free, bus-free city. It's like, it's interesting. It works. I think this is like a nice corner of the map as well. And we even connected up here to Bad Salzfurt because of a scrapyard again. We're picking up scrap to bring to the mine to be smelted down. But as you can see, we have like too few trains basically running everywhere. There's always stuff waiting on these tracks here because the trains are always stuck somewhere in some traffic jam. So that's a big downside. Here's a glass works, which we haven't even connected up. But that's pretty nice. And yeah, Eisenach here. And then it connects all the way, wow, really quite far, up to Stockersee. And then it becomes like a single track line to Fritztal and the Fritztal Iron Mine, which we have also connected up to Willmarkt. And then down here in the southern corner, it also goes from Ollerskirchen over St. Oswald, Bad Segeberg, Hofhofen, what an interesting name, Hofhofen. And then yeah, it goes here to Leiterberg, which is also a pretty big city tucked away somewhere in the corners of the map. We haven't really appreciated it that much. It has like a fishery, which we're even running. Like we are also collecting fish from the shoals here to bring over there. So that's very nice. That is very nice. And what else did we not look at? We looked at these things. We looked at that. There is some minor connection here, seemingly, that I forgot as well. Biesenhafen. Not a large city. They are running one of those old trams, I guess. Is that like a... It's still an electric tram, I guess. But they have like two types of trams running. That's cool. And the train is going up here to Deutsch Vizensean. Where is it connecting up to? It's probably connecting up to Champiru, I would guess, yeah. And then here's like a major junction here where it's kind of like a... can go both ways. That's kind of something we did recently so that they can avoid the busy station here. And yeah, these tunnels here, like this thing, and then the squeezed in junction here, but it kind of works. Seemingly it kind of works. And of course we should not forget to mention that we do have quite a bit of ferry services running as well. Mostly they're kind of slow, but nonetheless they are highly appreciated by those people who use them. The most famous of which is probably here, the one from Pulnau, where we also built some canals here through these shoals. That's always like a very nice array, and there's 115 people enjoying the journey here from Ikasavici down to Pulnau. And the reason was mainly that this ferry company also prevented us from building a bridge here from the railway. They were lobbying against it, that it should not be allowed. So it wasn't built for the longest time. So the Pulnau railway was only connected to Peterswaldau, but under a lot of pressure they managed to make some negotiation where it's now connected up here to Weißenkirch at least, so that they're not completely isolated. At least recently we also built like some buses here through the very hilly neighborhood down here to connect up a few more city. Yeah, very cool. Yeah, and I think that's kind of it for, at least for now, of this little series. As I said, maybe in the future we might come back to it, but as you see, the money is coming in very slowly. It's a very expensive network that we're running here. It's not very profitable. It works more or less out if you don't have track maintenance on, but it's very expensive, not very efficiently built, and it's huge, and it's definitely something that put me on the edge of my capabilities. Yeah, so I will not be necessarily continuing. I just want to look for interest, like where the smallest town is. Yeah, just like 2 villages, 2 houses and a farm and a church. What more do you need in life? Just a little idyllic side, or you could live here in the big city. But yeah, I'm digressing. There will be a new series. I will end this series. What the hell? I thought this was solved. What a way to end the series. Yeah, I will end the series. Unfortunately, I will start a new series, but I will put the save game in the description. If you are interested, you can try running it. I have no idea if it will work, because it uses a huge amount of GRFs, which most of which I am not even using. Really, I just added them to the scenario because I thought like, maybe, but yeah, I think I definitely overdid it. There's definitely too much stuff that I don't even use. So, see you next time. Take care, and thanks for watching.